Hi, welcome to this week's edition of Bugling in the Big Ones. I'm your host, Phil Hunter, and this week we'll be traveling to the wilderness of northern Wyoming, where we can find some of the largest elk herds and some of the largest elk in the world. Come with me. Before we head for the hills, I'd like to talk a little bit about the equipment we'll be using today. First, the most important piece, the rifle. I'll be using this classic English double rifle, a 4-bore, the most powerful handheld weapon ever designed. Looks like a shotgun, doesn't it? But when you're hunting dangerous game like an elk, I want to have as much stopping power as I can get. Plus, with the long-range capability of this firearm, here in the western United States, I've been known to take shots as long as a mile, although usually I try to work in at least half that distance. Now, you can't talk about guns without talking about gun safety. Now, the first thing I do whenever I pick up a gun is squeeze the trigger. That way, I'm sure that my firing pin's going to fall on an empty chamber. See? No need to worry about that one. Now, the next thing I like to do is take a rag and stuff it into the barrel as tight as I can. That way, if the gun accidentally does get discharged, that bullet isn't going to escape and hurt anyone. So there you go. Another thing we're going to need in the wilderness is a good horse, such as Sambo here. There's just no other way to get into the backcountry as far as we need to go to find the big ones. We're going to have to travel light, so we're only going to bring the essentials. The rifle, of course. Some food, water, foul weather gear, there's good, laptop, hair dryer, this lamp. Okay, I think we're about ready. Oh wait, one more very important thing. Bear spray. We'll be traveling in grizzly country, and those grizzlies are almost as dangerous as the elk are. If you don't believe me, just watch this video taken by a friend of mine in his very hunting camp. Look out! There you saw it. Watch out for grizzlies up there, folks. Now don't forget when you load your horse to save room for an elk. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, we're off.
We better be very, very quiet. There's a big one close by. Look at the size of the antlers on that bad boy.
Did you know that in the Orient, they grind up antlers and use them for aphrodisiacs? There's nothing that gives me more satisfaction than knowing that I've brought two people halfway across the world closer together. Not even giving the meat to starving people makes me feel better than that. I don't eat elk. I think if we try and bugle them in, we can get a little closer to a shot. I'm going to give it a try.
Well, if you got one every time, they'd call it killing, not hunting. Join us next week when we travel to the wilderness of northern Colorado, where you can find some of the largest elk herds and some of the largest elk in the world. From all of us here at Bugling in the Big Ones, I'm Phil Hunter saying, good hunting.